Christine Crutcher from Create with Christine. I'm here with another Tuesday tip video tutorial. I am coming to you this week and every Tuesday at 7 o'clock Eastern from my craft studio in my house. I hope you're all hanging in there and doing well considering everything going on in the world right now. So for this week I have a really cute Easter basket to show you how to make. It is from, I'm using as the box, the Ornate Garden Specialty Designer Series paper that was just released and is available to customers. This is a Specialty Designer Series paper, and I'll show you on the other pieces I'm going to use. I used one of the stamp sets from the suite too. It's called Ornate. Oh, I got the thing right over here somewhere. It's called Ornate Style. And then I also used, I wanted a Happy Easter greeting, so I used my Timeless Tulips stamp set. So here's a look at the box. I'm going to use different paper. This one features the terracotta tile ink and ribbon, and I'm going to use Old Olive for the next one. I'm kind of doing a his and hers. This is going to be mine because it's got the flowers, and I'm going to make one for hubby with Old Olive and the Old Olive paper. So I'm going to go ahead and move the camera. Don't get dizzy on me while I move the camera down at my table. Okay, so I'm going to start by doing my stamping first. So I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock. It measures 2 inches by 4 inches. So the reason is this is because I'm going to punch this out with the tailored tag punch. So I want to have kind of like a handle, so to speak, on one side that I can hang on to while I do my punching. So let me bring over my stamps. Like I said, I'm using 2 stamp sets. I'm actually using the Ornate Style stamp set for the flower image, the daisy. And then I'm also using the Timeless Tulips stamp set for my little Easter greeting. I realized in my stash I have very few Easter greetings. So I have my Old Olive ink pad that I'm going to be stamping with. So I'm going to do my greeting first, about in the middle. And then with my flower, I want to stamp off twice. So I'm just going to bring over some scrap computer paper, ink up my flower, stamp off once, stamp off twice. Then I'm just going to go kind of on the scrap paper so I don't get ink everywhere, and go over. And then what I'm going to do is add a little tiny bit of Wink Stella to my flower. So I just have a clear Wink Stella glitter brush. And I'm just going to come in while the ink is a little bit wet and move some of the ink with my Wink Stella. This is a fun little tip. I do quite a bit. You always kind of get a different effect. And then I'm going to punch out with my tailored tag punch. Okay, so there's my greeting. And actually, while I have this here, I will just come over. I know this punch is retired, but I'm just going to use a retired hole punch and punch a hole in the top. Now let's move to the actual shipping box. Our shipping boxes come flat like this, and obviously it's a box. It's got 4 sides. In my original, what I did is I had a 6 3/4, I believe it was, piece of designer series paper, 2.5 by 6 3/4, and I just went around the corner, and I had another one on this side that went around the corner. So then what I decided to do is I didn't like that as much, so I cut out 4 pieces. Obviously the 2 front panels and the 2 side panels will be the same. And then see how I did the handles? I put the handles inside the box with glue dots, but then I kind of came up with a better idea of how I can do it. So let me show you the handles. Actually, no. First step is I want to glue the flaps in. So this is the top of the box. So these are the 4 flaps, and I want to glue them all in. So what I normally would do is just make sure they're all nice and scored. I'm moving everything around here. Get my liquid glue, not my ribbon. And we're just going to glue the flaps to the inside first. I'm using liquid glue. I tried to use snail and they wanted to come back out, so it'd be easier if I do it this way. Liquid glue, they're not going to go anywhere with liquid glue, let's just say. Just saying. So, the inside flaps. Whoops, that one needed a minute or two to set up. Okay, so give them a squeeze for a minute. Sorry, I'm shaking everything around. I should be doing it this way. I'm still shaking everything around, sorry. Ooh, that one's not scored very well. Okay, so the front and the back have the Stampin' Up logo on them. So, and then this is the bottom. Here, let me put the bottom in so you kind of get where I'm going here. That's the bottom. So these 2 are the sides, and I have 2 pieces of old olive ribbon. They measure 5 inches. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue dot them to the outside of the box, and you'll see where I'm going with this. So let me bring over my mini glue dots. I'm just going to put 1 on each end. So this side first. Then I'll come just do the other side while we're doing this step. And now what I can do is, with my designer series paper pieces, I've got 2 pieces for the sides with the ribbon that measure 2.5 by 2 3/4. Then I've got 2 sides to cover the Stampin' Up logo side, and these are 2.5 by 3 3/4. So I'm going to put these on with some snail adhesive. I'm just snailing off camera, but this is the specialty part of the designer paper, and hopefully you can see that beautiful gold on the designer paper. So with these measurements you'll have a thin border all around. I'm just going to go around each side. So this is the longer piece. And then a shorter piece. And then the longer piece again. Okay, so there's my box. And I have my greeting. And what I did is I took a 3x6 gusseted bag. They come looking like this, and I filled it with some candy. And then I did a ribbon. Let me actually just untie this just so you can see how I did this. I don't have enough candy to fill another bag, so I just raided some stash I had left over from something else. So I'm just going to cut this off. I'm just going to I have a 12-inch piece of the old olive ribbon, and I'm going to tie a bow. Then I can futz with it to make it look pretty. And then with my tag, I have a 6-inch piece of baker's twine in Whisper White, and I'm just going to thread it through and then tie it around my project. And then just cut off the excess once you have it.